Hello everybody, welcome to the first game of the 1977 Stratomatic series. I won't say the regular term for that because it might be striked, or I might get a strike for copyright for using a copyrighted thing, sort of like if you say Super Bowl or something. So I'm just going to say the Stratomatic series and leave it at that. And if I can use the other one, fine, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. Some people call it the Fall Classic, but I think Strat Series sounds okay to me. So there you see we are at Arlington Stadium. This is game one, which Texas will have the home field advantage in game 1 and 2. Games 3, 4, and 5 will be in Los Angeles, where the Dodgers will have the home field. Ironically, the first 2 games are night games, the middle 3 are day games, and then the last 2 would be night games back in Texas. Let's go through the rosters for both teams and the starting lineups. So first we'll look at the additional players that are not in the starting lineup for the Dodgers. And I was going to try to do something cheesy and act like a PA announcer, but I'll forego all that and save everybody the misery of listening to that. So I'll just kind of be matter-of-factly. I'm also thought about doing it in the verbiage of The Walking Dead and Eugene, but I think I'll avoid that as well in case people don't know who Eugene is. All right, so first for the Dodgers, the additional players, or the players that are going to be on the bench in this game, but they are on the roster. And we're going to have, let me put them in the right order, I think. Okay. At least what I assume to be the right order. Not necessarily in any certain order, but just kind of by position, I think. All right, so backup catcher Jerry Grody and backup catcher Johnny Oates. Infielder Ed Goodson. Infielder / outfielder Lee Lacy, and backup infielder Ted Martinez. Now, in the real World Series, Rafael Landistoi was on the active roster for the Dodgers, but I don't have a card for him. So Ted Martinez kind of fits that same mold. He could play second, third, or short, so he'd mostly be used for a defensive replacement and possibly a pinch runner. All right, backup outfielders Vic Davalillo, Glenn Burke, and Manny Mota. So the Dodgers, both teams are going with 16 position players and 9 pitchers, which was typical back in the 70s. I think that's the way that the Dodgers did it anyway in 77. All right, so those are the backup position players. Let's look at the backup pitchers. First, starters that are not going to start, obviously, until later on. Game 2 starter, Rick Rhoden. Game 3 starter, Tommy John. Game 4 starter, Don Sutton. And the bullpen, we have Mike Garman. We have Bert Hooton, who's moved from the starting rotation to the bullpen because it needs some more bullpen help. And you only need 4 starters. The only lefty in the bullpen, Lance Rodson. Then Elias Sosa, and their closer, Charlie Huff. So those are the 9 pitchers, or those are 8 of the 9 pitchers. The only one missing is the starter for today's game. So let's look at the starting lineup first, or for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it'll be leading off at second base, Davey Lopes. Hitting second, playing short, Bill Russell. Batting third in right field, Reggie Smith. Batting cleanup at third base, Ron Cey. Hitting fifth at first base, Steve Garvey. Hitting sixth in left field, Dusty Baker. Batting seventh in center field, Rick Monday. Batting eighth and catching is Steve Yeager. And batting ninth, using pitcher hitting card number 2, is Doug Rowell, today's starter, lefty. And that's a strategy employed by Tommy Lasorda because the Rangers don't do quite as good against left-handed pitching. Plus, they had to use their best 2 pitchers, Tommy John and Don Sutton, to get past the Phillies and make that comeback from down 2 games to none. So those are the available players that will be on the bench and bullpen for the Dodgers. So if they're not there and you're wondering where like John Hale or somebody is, he's not active, so don't worry about it. All right, let's look at the bench players for the Texas Rangers. And again, these are the non-starters, but they are available off the bench. First, we'll start with the 2 backup catchers, John Ellis, a righty, and Bill Fahey, a lefty. Backup infielder / outfielder is Kurt Bavacqua. And another backup infielder is Sandy Alomar. Pretty much a DH, but reduced to pinch hitting because of the non-DH rule is Willie Horton. Backup outfielders, a couple of lefties, Claudell Washington and Dave May. They're on the bench because the lefty is starting. And then Keith Smith, a utility guy or kind of a late season call-up, or he only had 67 at bats, so he wasn't that great, but I needed to fill out 16 players, and that's all I had left. So I was down to him. All right, let's look at the starters that are not, or the pitchers that are not going to start in Game 1. That's the Game 2 starter, Gaylord Perry, the Game 3 starter, Doyle Alexander, and the Game 4 starter, Doc Ellis. Go to the bullpen, we have Len Barker, and we have 3 lefties in a row, Roger Moret, Paul Lindblad, and Darryl Knowles, and then their closer, Adrian Devine. All right, let's look at the starting lineups in Game 1 for the Texas Rangers. To face Doug Rauch. Leading off at shortstop, Bert Campaneris. Batting second at second base, Bump Wills. Hitting third at first base is Mike Hargrove. Batting cleanup is third baseman Toby Harrah. Batting fifth, switch hitting outfielder Ken Henderson. Hitting sixth and catching is Jim Sundberg. Batting seventh and playing left field because he's batting right-handed, and they're going with the platoon advantage, and that's Tom Grieve. That's got Claudell Washington on the bench. Batting eighth and center field is Juan Beniquez. And batting ninth, using pitcher hitting card number 1, is Bert Blyleven. So those are the rosters for each team. And I also have them printed out so I can keep track of who's in the game and whatnot. And as I use them, I can scratch them off. So I won't have that snafu of using a pitcher twice like I did accidentally in the Philly game. We're using Ron Reed twice. So hopefully this will prevent that. And you can kind of see who's available, who's not, and so forth. So we are about ready to go. I did roll for the weather already, and it's a night game in Texas in October. And I rolled an 8, which is average weather or normal weather. Singles are 1 to 10, but home runs, lefties are 1 to 16, and righties are 1 to 7. So the Dodgers trying to take advantage of that by throwing a lefty out there, forcing the right-handers in the lineup. So their home run rating is not quite as good. All right, so who are we rooting for, Philip? I don't have a dog in the fight, so you can root for whoever you choose. I really don't care. I just hope it's a entertaining series, and you know, hope it's not a 4-game sweep. I hope it goes at least 5 or 6 games, and we'll see. I'm going to try to be fair to both teams because, like I said, I don't really have a preference one way or the other. Makes no difference to me. All right, so let's get the score sheet and dice tray in here so that we are ready to go. And I want to make sure they fit in the camera the way they're supposed to, or the way I want them to, so you can see everything. I think, let me push this score sheet up just a touch. Hey, the Phrase, how are you doing? He's for Texas, okay. Like I said, it makes no matter to me. I'm not a big Dodger fan. Obviously, I don't really care for the Dodgers, but I don't hate them. And I'm nondescript on Texas. So either way, it doesn't matter to me. All right, so I think now the score sheet is in play. You can see the whole line score there. And the dice tray is, I believe, all set. Make sure that's fully in view. So I think we're good to go. All right, so finishing up his warm-up tosses is Bert Blyleven, and he's had lots of rest because they beat the Orioles in 4 games, but the Dodgers had to go the full 5 to beat the Phillies, so they had to burn Sutton and Tommy John those last 2 games. So advantage right there to the Rangers, but then with no DH, you can throw the advantage back into the Dodgers because the Rangers will not have Willie Horton DHing for them. He'll be available to pinch hit, but it's certainly an advantage to a National League team to not have the DH, although it didn't help the Dodgers in the real 77 series against the Yankees. But we'll see how it plays out today. I will do my best not to make any mistakes. I think everything is lined up the way I need it. Hello, John Mitch 81 and Phanomatic. Thank you for joining in. Seems like a lot of people are with the Rangers. No, Ryan is not on the Rangers in 77, that's for sure. 77, he's with California. All right, so here we go. Davey Lopes steps in the batter's box against Bert Blyleven, and Game 1 of the 1977 Strat-O-Matic Series from Arlington Stadium is now underway. We get a 2-9 for Davey Lopes, and that's a ground ball to short, and Campaneris puts that away, and Blyleven off to a good start. One away. Here's Bill Russell. 6-8. 6-8 struck him out. So Blyleven, just like he did to Baltimore, he's very effective here in this particular outing. Here's Reggie Smith. 3-7 for Reggie, and he grounds to second. That'll be handled by Bump Wills, and it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Bert Blyleven as the Dodgers go pretty quickly. All right, so Doug Rao, who did not pitch in the NLCS at all, but he had a good record in 1977. He was 14-8 with a 3.43 ERA and 32 starts. So he was certainly not a slouch by any means. And Bert Campaneris will be stepping in for the Rangers. And now I got to remember to read off the blue side because they're facing a lefty Rao. So Campaneris facing Rao. 3-8, and it's a ground ball to short. Bill Russell will put it away. So nothing out of the infield yet. Here's Bump Wills, switch hitter batting right-handed, 2-5 against the lefty. 1-12 is a single, 13-20, Ron Say will snag it. And it's a base hit, sneaks by Ron Say. And now Bump Wills could be looking to run here, although Yeager is a -3 arm. Rao's a 0 hold. So if he got the jump, he would drop to a 12 because of the -2 for being held plus the -3 for Yeager. But a 1-12 is not bad. I mean, it's more than 50-50. It's better odds than somebody getting a hit. So they're going to try to get the jump, 2-6. People do it, and he does. 6, he gets the jump. So it's a 1-12 for Bump Wills to steal it. And it's a 1. He steals it, plus there's a throwing error possibility on Yeager. And Yeager is a T18, so this most likely will go into center field. And it does. So it's a stolen base plus an error, E2, on Yeager on the throw. So Yeager chucks it into center field. Russell unable to get to it. And that's going to put runner at third with 1 out. And the infield's going to come in early because they know how tough Blyleven is. So lefty on lefty against Mike Hargrove with the infield in. First, we're checking for any wild pitches. Nothing's going on there. So infield in. Here's Hargrove against Rao. 5-4. Fly ball center field X. That's Beniquez, and Beniquez is a 1. 1 and a 2, though. That's going to at least be a sacrifice fly, almost guaranteed. I don't think that's going to, even though he's a 1, when you get a 2, roll that low as a 2. A 1 and a 2 is an F2, and an F2 is a sacrifice fly. We're just checking for an error now to make sure he didn't drop it or anything, and Beniquez's error rating is an E6. E6 and a 12 for a center fielder. Nope, no 12, but it is a sacrifice fly to center field. And actually, it wasn't Beniquez. I was supposed to be looking at Mundy. My bad. He's a 2, which is even worse. So a 2 and a 2. 2 and a 2 is actually going to be a single. So let me fix that. I'm already making errors here because I was looking at the wrong team. It's not Beniquez. I need to get my white out. I said I wasn't going to make any errors, and here I am in the first inning making an error. All right, so it's actually Rick Mundy in center field, who's a 2 and a 2. I don't know why I looked at Beniquez. He's on the bench trying to bat. So it's actually going to be a single. And there's no error on the play, so Hargrove cannot move up. But he is at first base with 1 out, so the infield's at double play depth. And 1-0 favor of the Rangers. Here's Toby Hara. Nothing on the 20. Hara, 1-4 against the left-hander, is a single to right field. Now, does the runner get from first to third? Hargrove runs at an 11. So he's a speed of 11, and he was not being held, which gives him a boost of a 12. To go from first to third, you get another boost of 2, which makes it a 14. But Reggie Smith's arm is a -3, which knocks him to an 11. So that's only a 50-50 chance, and you've got some other guys coming up, so they're going to hold him at second base. So runners are at first and second with still only 1 out. And Ken Henderson, switch hitter, batting right-handed, up to the plate. Nothing on the 20. Here's Henderson facing Rao. 6-7, struck him out. Big strikeout there for Doug Rao. That's 2 away, but now he's got to get by the tough Jim Sundberg. No pushover there, especially if you find Sundberg column 3. He's got a very tough column 3. And he did, 3-8. And he walks him, and that's going to load the bases. So the walk will load the bases. Bases are loaded with 2 outs for Tom Grieve. 1-0, but Texas looking to blow it open here in the first inning. All because, well, the error didn't really come into play because it was a single anyway. So he would have scored on all these hits anyway. So the run will be earned, actually. 1-5. And that's a walk to Grieve. That's going to load that's going to force in a run, rather. So how about that? Doug Rao forces in a run by 2 consecutive walks, and it's 2-0 Texas here in the bottom of the first with Juan Beniquez, the number 8 hitter, stepping to the plate. That's a 2, which means we have a chance at a balk or a pass ball. Rao, we're checking pass ball since that's a 6. Pass ball rate on Yeager is a 2. That's a 5, no pass ball. So we go back to Beniquez. We get a 6-11, ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in for Texas. They were both earned. That throwing error into center field didn't really affect it because of all the hits and walks. So both are earned, and Texas has given Bert Blyleven a 2-0 lead to protect here in the first inning. So the Dodgers, much like they did against the Phillies, are trying to dig themselves a hole. All right, it'll be Ron Cey to lead it off against Bert Blyleven. 1-7, and that's a walk to Ron Cey. Leadoff walk. Cey will not be held. And that'll bring us to Steve Garvey. So Steve Garvey, the batter. Blyleven, nothing on that. Here's Garvey. 2-2 for Garvey. And that's the old Lomax. Lines it to short. Campaneris fields it. Or catches the liner, I should say, and then just steps on the, or I'm sorry, doesn't step on the bag, he throws to first. That'd be a long step to reach all the way to first base. So it's a 6-3 double play as he fires to Hargrove to double off Ron Cey. And how about that? The old Lomax strikes again. Hey Salvador, how you doing? You just in time for Steve Garvey Lomax double play. Clears the bases. Here's Dusty Baker. 5-12, and that's a ground ball second base X. That's Bump Wills. And Wills is a 3 E17. 3 and a 7, he will get to that. E17 and a 10 should be okay. Pretty sure it's okay. Let me double check it. E17 and a 10 for a second baseman. Nope, there's no 10, and a 3 and a 7 is a G3. So it's good play all the way around by Bump Wills, and the inning's over. So nothing doing for the Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda, maybe the Dodgers have a little bit of fatigue from that long series with the Phillies and then having to travel to Texas. So Texas kind of was looking to have the advantage in game 1, particularly because they have their ace going, whereas the Dodgers are on their 3rd or 4th starter. Hey Al, how you doing? Hope I can be entertaining on your commute home. All right, leading off will be Bert Blyleven. And let's see, wait a minute. Blyleven should be hitting off pitch hitting card number 1, not number 2. I had those backwards. He's on pitch hitting card number 1 because obviously in the American League they didn't bat all year. So Blyleven's going to lead it off 2-3, and he is going to he's going to foul out to Yeager for 1 away, and now we're back to the top of the order for Bert Campaneris, and Campaneris grounded to short his first trip. 6-6, and that's 1 for a triple. Anything else will be a single off of Doug Rao's card. So that is a 1-out single for Campaneris, and he could be looking to run. He does have a lot of good chances to run here. 15 would be his number if he gets the jump, but then you lose 5 because of the -3 from Yeager and the 2 for being held makes him a 10. So even if he got the jump, it'd be 50-50. And if he rolls a 10 or 12, he gets picked off. But I think with 1 out, they're going to try to get him in scoring position. So anything other than a 10 or 12, he'll get the jump. That's a 7. He does get the jump. So he will get the jump, and it is a 1-10 to steal it. 16, he got caught. So Yeager fires down to Lopes. Puts on the tag, and 2 down. Base is clear. But when you lead 2-0 in the second inning, you figure you got house money, so they're going to try it. Here's Bump Wills, 5-7. Ground ball second base X. That is Mr. Lopes. Lopes is a 3-19. 3 and a 4. 3 and a 4 is going to get through for a base hit. 3 and a 4 is an SI1, so that will be a hit. We're checking for an error. Make sure you don't compound it. That's an 8, and he is an E19. There's no 8. There's a 6, but no 8 there, so it's a single. And now that caught stealing's really big. Now Bump Wills did steal in the first inning and went to third on a throwing error by Yeager, so they could try again. Why not? 2 through 6 gets him the jump. That's a 5. He gets the jump, so he's going to try it 1 to 12, and he will steal it. 7, he's in there, stolen base, but this time no throwing error. But Wills is at second base with 2 outs, and he will be held on second base because of his speed. Here's Hargrove, lefty on lefty against Mr. Rao. 3-8, and he's going to pop it up to second. Davey Lopes squeezes it. Innings over. Nothing for the Rangers here in the second. So after 2 complete, it's Texas 2 and the Dodgers nothing. Bert Blyleven in control so far. Only allowing 1 base runner, and he got doubled off on a Lomax, so he's faced the minimum. Now he's got the bottom third of the order. Rick Monday, Steve Yeager, and Doug Rao due up. Hi ID, how are you doing? Anybody else I missed? It's going okay, ID. I'm hanging in there. Let's see who else. I think I got everybody. RJL. I forgot. I didn't see you. Sorry about that. All right, so Rick Monday is going to lead it off here to start the top of the third. Texas leading 2-0 here in game 1. 3-7, and that's a leadoff walk, and leadoff walks can sometimes come back to bite you. Rick Monday will not be held. He's a terrible base runner. And I'll bring up Steve Yeager. 2 is chance for a balk or a pass ball. Blyleven does not have a balk rating, but we could check for a pass ball on Sundberg because he does have a pass ball rating. And we will. His pass ball rating is only a 1, though, so not likely. Nope, no pass ball, so we go right to Yeager. Infield at double play depth, 4-5. 4-5 is a fly to center, and that's going to be put away by Beniquez, 1 away. Now we've got Doug Rao, and he's actually pitcher hitting card number 2. I had those reversed there. All right, pitcher hitting card number 2 for Doug Rao, but he's going to bunt. I mean, that seems to be the thing to do. He's a B bunter, he becomes a C bunter. C bunter and a 3, that could be interesting. I'll check that out. C bunter and a 3. What does the chart say on that? C bunter and a 3 says speed. No, I'm sorry, it says sacrifice. The white die is a 4, which is the first baseman. So it's a sacrifice bunt to Hargrove, and he'll just tag Rao unassisted. Monday will go to second with 2 outs, and that turns it all over to Davey Lopes as the top of the order comes back. Again, Monday not being held at second. Nothing on the 20. Here's Mr. Lopes. 4-7 for Lopes. Struck him out. Bert Blyleven got that curveball working. Struck him out, and the Dodgers leave a man in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 in favor of the Strangers. And Doug Rao back out to face Toby Hara. Hara singled his last time, or his only time up. 4-5, and that is a fly ball to left field. That's going to be put away by Dusty Baker. 1 away, and here is Mr. Henderson. Ken Henderson to be exact. 2-5 against the lefty. Ground ball to second plus injury. Now here's the thing. I didn't think about this ahead of time. Should I play injuries or should I not play injuries? Because if I do it now, whatever I do now, I've got to keep for the whole series. And I didn't really think about this going into the series. That's one of the things I didn't really contemplate. But what do you guys think? Do you think I should do injuries, or do you think I should not do injuries and just, let everybody go? What do you guys think about that? I'm thinking about not doing them, but we'll see. Let's check the injury chart in case I want to do them. Makes for more manager skills. I kind of agree with that. Where's my injury chart? Gotta get my injury chart. If I'm gonna do injuries, I gotta do injury chart, don't I? All right, let me get the thing with the injuries. What did I do with it? Just had it, now I can't find it. There it is. Okay. Injury chart. If we're going to do injury chart, then let's do the injury chart. Let's get the appropriate page for injuries. Now, where'd it go? I just had it. Why is it? I thought it was on one of these pages. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Ah, here we go. I was on the wrong page. There we go. Okay, so injuries. Injuries. We're going to roll one D20, and we're checking the batter injury. If it's a 1 to 6, he remains in the game. 7, of course, he misses one game. A little bit higher, he misses some more. He could miss the whole series. So Ken Henderson could miss the whole series if we roll a high enough number on the D20. Let's see what the D20 says for injuries. It's a 20. He's gone for the series. So Ken Henderson is out of there for the series. So if you're a Ken Henderson fan, you'll have to just do without him, I guess. Let's remember what he did to actually get injured. He grounded to second. That's what he did. That was his at bat. So Ken Henderson will have to be replaced. And I don't think the Rangers have anybody else on the bench that I can bring in to replace him on the roster. I might, I don't know, I'm going to go one short, I guess. I think the Yankees played one short in the World Series, but they won anyway. So now I need a left fielder. And I guess we'll go ahead and use Claudell Washington. Well, you know what? Yeah, I guess we'll use Claudell Washington. So Claudell Washington will come in and play right field. It's not very good. He's a 4.E8. But he's obviously more like the starter that would normally be in there had they not been facing a left-handed pitcher. So Ken Henderson is out of there. He is not to be seen again because of that 20 on the D20. He is history, as they say. So let me mark this on the thing here and scratch out Grieve. I'm sorry, not Grieve. Let's scratch out Henderson. Injured for series. I'll make this note so I don't forget it. All right, so if anybody that came in late didn't see this, I had this little thing here set up with the starting lineup and all the rosters. So now I've got Ken Henderson scratched out saying injured for series. So I know I won't get a brain cramp and try to play him again. So Henderson is gone. Washington is in. And with 2 outs and the bases clear, we have Jim Sundberg, the batter. 2-5 for Sundberg is a 2-out walk. He walked in the first and he walks in the third, but he will not be held. It's not a very good base runner, obviously. So here we go. Grieve, nothing on the 20. 3-7 for Grieve against a lefty. 1-17 is a single. 18-20, Lopes will snag it. It's a 17. It just nicks off the glove of Lopes for a base hit, but it's only a 1-star. So Sundberg, even with 2 outs, cannot advance past second base. So 2 on, 2 outs, neither runner being held, and here is Juan Beniquez. Nothing on the 20. Beniquez. 2-7. Again, a split chance. 1-5 is a single. Anything else he grounds to say. Single is 1-star, so it would load the bases. But it's a 9, so Say takes care of it, and the inning is over. So Texas loses Ken Henderson. Don't know if that'll be a big deal or not the rest of the series. Does take away some of their flexibility, but we shall see. All right, Burt Blyleven back out to start the 4th with a 2-0 lead. Be facing Bill Russell, Reggie Smith, and Ron Say, the heart of the order. Bill Russell, 6-6, and it's a 1-7 single, 8-20, and Hargrove will field it and take it to the bag himself. And it's a 1, so it's going to sneak through for a base hit. How about that? Bill Russell, leadoff single. He will be held, but he won't try to steal. He's not that good of a stealer. They don't want to take a chance down 2-0. Here's Reggie Smith, nothing on the 20. Smith's power hitting switch hitter. 3-7, ground ball second base C. That'll move the runner to second base. So he's out, but at least Russell gets to scoring position for Ron Say, the Penguin. That's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. That's a 3, and Blyleven has no balk rating, so there's no balk to worry about. Go back to Ron Say. 1-6 against a right-hander, and that's a split chance. 1 to 7 is a double, 8 to 20 is a single. Both of them are 2 stars, so we know that Russell's going to score. It's just a matter whether it's a single or a double. 1 to 7, and it's a double. But it's only a single, but it's enough because of that ground ball C by Reggie Smith to get him to second. It's enough to score Bill Russell and cut the lead to 2-1. So Say will not be held at second, and that's going to bring up Steve Garvey with 1 out and a runner at second base, or at first base rather. Nothing on the 20. Here's Garvey. 2-7 for Garvey. All these hits in column 1 and 2, and he strikes out in column in row 7. So Garvey is out of there. 2 down, and that brings up Dusty Baker. Nothing on the 20. Here's Baker. 6-4. Ooh, 6-5 would have been a home run chance, but 6-4 is a ground ball to the shortstop Campaneris to end the inning. But the Dodgers do get a run, kind of a manufactured run, but they'll take it. And it's a 2-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Doug Rowell back in. Oops, and leading off will be Blyleven, hitting off pitcher hitting card number 1. Bert Blyleven. 6-5, but we're off the pitcher card, Doug Rowell, and 6-5 is a chance for a home run. Obviously has weak power. So 1 to 7 will be a single, 8 to 20 would be a double. How about that? It's a 7, so it's a base hit. Would have been a home run had he had normal power, but obviously he does not. But Bert Blyleven with a single off the pitcher card. And that's one of those Stratomatic things that's, you wonder, like, how does that happen? But if you get it off the pitcher card, that's what can happen. All right, here is Campaneris. He could bunt. He's an A bunter, so we're going to have him bunt. Comes a B bunter. B bunter and a 7 is good all day long, I do believe, but I will verify. B bunter and a 7 is a good sacrifice. The white die is a 3, which is the catcher. So catcher, in this case, Steve Yeager makes the play. So we'll call it 2-4 with Lopes covering first, and Blyleven moseys over to second base. Of course, he's not going to be held. He runs very slowly. Actually, runs at a 10 according to the pitcher hitting card. So here's Bump Wills. Nothing on that. Wills 2-5 against a left-hander. That's a 1 to 12 single, and 13 to 20 he lines it to the third baseman Ron Say. But a 1 to 12 is a 1-star single. That's a 4. It's a 1-star single. So Blyleven going station to station now. Runners at the corners with only 1 out, and Bump Wills is a threat to run if they want to try to send him. But I think with Hargrove and Hara coming up, they're going to let him stay put. They don't want to lose it out on the base paths. The infield for the Dodgers is going to come in. They need to come in because they got to cut that run off. You can't afford a ground ball that's just a force play. So the infield's going to be in for the Dodgers. Nothing on the 20. Hargrove 3-8 is popped up to second base. Infield fly rule. Davey Lopes is right there, and that's 2 away. A big out there for Doug Rowell to get that infield fly rule. Hi, John. How are you doing? Hi, A. Joseph. Sorry I missed you guys. I haven't been paying attention to the chat and trying to make sure I don't make errors in the game. I already made one that I fixed, but I'd prefer not to make any. But the whiteout has already made an appearance, so trying to limit that as best I can. All right, here's Toby Hara. Again, runners on the corners. Now infield, of course, back at normal depth since there's 2 outs. And here's Hara, 2-7. Fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So Doug Rowell pitches around all that mess and keeps the Rangers at bay. Score still 2-1. Here as we go to the 5th. So Rowell is hanging in there with Blyleven, giving the Dodgers about what they could expect, or better than what they expect probably. All right, so we got Rick Monday, Steve Yeager, and Doug Rowell coming up. 4-5, and that's a ground ball to second. Bump Wills will make the play. 1 down for Yeager. The Jägermeister, 6'9", struck him out. There's a dot there, but of course he's not tired yet, so no problems with that. So 2 out, space is empty, and that brings up Mr. Rowell. That's a 2-8 for Rowell, and he strikes out to end the inning. No thoughts of pinch hitting for Rowell. Had they had a rally going, I might have done it, but with the bases clear and 2 outs, just didn't seem to make sense to do that. So here we go. Rowell back out. We'll face Claudell Washington out as a lefty-on-lefty matchup because Claudell had to replace Ken Henderson, who is now out for the series, in case anybody missed it. He got injured, and I rolled a D20 on the. I rolled a 20 on the D20, and that means he is out for the series. So Claudel will probably get most of the playing time now. 2-9, lefty on lefty, 2-9, struck him out. Claudel out on strikes. Brings up Jim Sundberg. 4-11 off a Rao. Ground ball to third. That's Ron Say territory. 2 down, and that brings up Tom Grieve. 2-6 for Grieve. Struck him out. So Doug Rao hanging in there with the ace Bert Blyleven. It's only a 2-1 game, so anything can happen. He gave up the 2 runs in the first, but has settled down since. And now, top of the order for the Dodgers, Davey Lopes will lead things off. Lopes grounded to short and struck out. 0 for 2. 5-9, he's going to ground to short again, and that is, again, Campaneris. 1 away. Here's Bill Russell. Russell struck out and singled and scored. The only run of the game. 3-4. He's going to ground to second, so Bump Wills will take it. 2 down. And that brings up Reggie Smith. 1-6 for Reggie. 1-9's a single. Anything else, he will line it right to Bump Wills. And Wills makes the snag, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th now. Still 2-1. I was expecting more offense, but I guess Blyleven and Rao had other ideas. So this is Rao's fatigue inning. He does have a 6 for his fatigue. So the Dodger bullpen is starting to get some activity down there. And if we look at the Dodger bullpen, they do have, let's see, what do they have as far as their batting? They got a ways to go on the batting. Looks like Elias Sosa is loosening in the bullpen for the Dodgers, just in case. Here's Juan Beniquez to lead it off. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded to Ron Say twice. 1-9, and this time he lines out. He's got a good column 1, but 9 is a line out to Davey Lopes. 1 away. So Rao narrowly escaped 1 there. And here's Blyleven, who singled off a Rao's card off that 6-5 result last time. He's 1 for 2. We're back off Rao again. 4-5, but this time it's a fly to left. And Dusty Baker says, not so fast. So, 2 down. Base is clear. And we flip the order to Bert Campaneris. He's been a thorn in their side. 3-5. 1's a single, but anything else he will line it to Ron Say. So this should do it. And Ron Say squeezes it to end the inning. So 6 innings in the books. And it's still 2-1. I was thinking there'd be more runs than this. Yep, John. That's why I don't use the advanced fielding chart. It does create too many errors. I always use the super advanced. Even if I want to play advanced, I use super advanced. I do a hybrid and use super advanced because the advanced chart definitely creates too many errors. No question about it. All right, Blyleven starting the 7th. His fatigue is number 8, so he's still good to go. And he's got to deal with Say, Garvey, and Baker at the heart of the order. 4, 5, and 6 in the Dodger lineup. Tommy Lasorda pacing the dugout, looking for some runs. 2-6 struck him out. Ron Say can't get it done. Brings up Steve Garvey. He is lined to short and struck out. 3-10. He's going to line it again right to Mr. Toby Harrah. 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Dusty Baker. 5-7. That's going to be a base hit. 1-3 is a double. 4-20 will be a single. So a 2-out single for Dusty Baker. Now, he's not much of a base runner, so they will not try to steal with him. They won't even hold him on. Actually, they'll hold him on. They'll hold him on because that's realistic. If he was on base in real life, they'd hold him on. So I'm going to hold him on. Nothing on the 20 for Rick Monday. 4-7 struck him out, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, still 2-1 in favor of the Rangers. And when I think of the Dodgers, I would be remiss if I didn't mention or bring up that former Dodger and former I think he played for about 10 different teams, Jay Johnstone passed away. So kind of sad news there. Always liked Jay Johnstone. In fact, he was in his card was in the Philly replay from the NLCS, so he was always a prankster, which I appreciate good humor. So sad to see Jay Johnstone leave, but hopefully he had a good life. All right, so we're at the top, or not the top of the order, but number 2 hitter Bump Wills against Doug Rowell. Now the question is, do we let Rowell keep going? Well, why not? Rowell has retired 8 in a row, rather. So might as well let him keep going. But Sosa is ready if needed. 3-6 for Bump Wills. That's a strikeout. So Doug Rowell, pitch for pitch with Blyleven. Here's Hargrove. 6-2. That's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4-E0. So we know he will not make an error, but he's got to get to it. He's only a range of 4. 4 and a 10. Let's see if he gets to that. 4 and a 10 for a pitcher. A 4 and a 10 is a G3, so he does get to it. So Rowell makes the play. 2 down. That's going to bring up Toby Hara. 3-10 for Hara. That's a ballpark home run. Our first diamond shot of the game. However, Texas is for home runs, lefties are 16, righties are only a 7. So this has to be a 1-7 to be a home run. And it is. So Hara says he doesn't care. It's a home run. And the Rangers now lead it 3-1. But they're going to let Rowell finish because he's set to bat second next inning, and plus you got lefty on lefty with Claudel. So Rowell's going to try to shake that off and get out of this. 4-7. It's a single, so they may have to go to the bullpen early, more than they wanted to, because Sundberg's coming up, and they're going to make a call to the bullpen and bring in Elias Sosa. So Sosa will come in. Do they do a double switch? Let's see. No, I want to keep everybody in there, so no double switch. Sosa will just pitch. They're going to hope to get the last out, so they're going to try to get him for 1/3 of an inning if possible. And this will be his only batter face that they hope. And then we'll go to somebody else in the 8th. All right, so Rowell, fine performance. He gives up 3 runs in 6 1/3. All of them earned. Home run there by Hara. Didn't help. All right, so Sundberg is up to face Elias Sosa. Nothing on the 20. That's a 4-9, and that's a strikeout. So Elias Sosa came in and did exactly what they wanted him to do. He came in, faced 1 batter, and struck him out. So how about that? Can't ask for more from a relief pitcher than that. So Sosa did what he needed to do, and he will be pinch hit for in the top of the 8th. But that big run, home run by Toby Hara, bumps the lead now to 3-1. And Blyleven, this will be his point of weakness inning. And now we'll look at the Dodgers. They may want to start using some of their bench guys. So as we look at the roster of available players for the Dodgers, they do have some lefties on the bench. They got Johnny Oates, Ed Goodson, and Vic Davalillo. And they also have Manny Mota, who's kind of like their pinch hitter extraordinaire. So what we're going to have a pinch hitter for Steve Yeager, and that's going to be Vic Davalillo. He will get things started as a pinch hitter, and then Manny Mota will hit for Elias Sosa, and then the new catcher is going to be Jerry Grody. So got to make all those little moves here. All right, so let's get those cards available from the Dodger bench. Jerry Grody will be the new catcher. Davalillo and Mota will be the pinch hitters. All right, so it's Davalillo first, Mota second, and Grody will be coming in to catch in the bottom of the 8th. Right now, Davalillo is going to be leading things off, trying to get something started against Bert Blyleven. This is his point of weakness inning. 5-10. 5-10's ground ball third base X. That's Toby Hara. He is a 3-E16. 3 and a 17, he's good all day. E16. E16 and 11. Let's make sure that's not a problem. E16 and an 11 for a third baseman is not a problem at all. So it's good play for Toby Hara. And Davalillo is retired, so he fails in the pinch. Brings up pinch hitter extraordinaire Manny Mota. The aged one, 3-11. And that's a ballpark single check, which is a 1-10. First ballpark single check we've had, 1-10. And he can't do it. He lines the short. So Manimoto missed it by 1. So 2 down. So both pinch hitters fail. Now we're back to the top of the order and Davey Lopes. 2-4. 2-4 for Lopes. That's another ballpark single check. Again, 1-10. And this time he gets the base hit. So Davey Lopes with the base hit. He's down 3-1, but they might want him to get something started here. Because if he gets the jump, he's going to have a really good number. Because Blyleven's a +3, even though Sundberg is a -4. That makes it a -1. Being held makes him a -3. So that'd be a 16 if he gets the jump. So they're going to try it 4-6 to get the jump. 5, he gets the jump. So it's a 1-16 to steal. And he does it. So Davey Lopes steals second base. He is in scoring position with 2 outs for Bill Russell. That's big because a base hit from Russell can cut the lead to 1. And then when you get to the 9th, if you're down by 1, it's a whole lot better than being down by 2. You can play different strategies. So Russell stepping in against Lopes, who is being held at second. Here's Russell. 1-8. Thought about pinch hitting for Russell, but I didn't. Ground ball to third, and that's going to end the inning. I don't think Lasorda would ever do that. So nothing happening there for the Dodgers. They got a man at second, but couldn't get it done. They will have the heart of the order in the 9th, though. So let's see how that plays out. Now we need to go to the Dodger bullpen because we pinch hit for Elias Sosa. And let's see, coming up for the Rangers is Grieve, Beniquez, and potentially Blyleven. So you could go to a right-hander, Mike Garman, but then they might pinch hit for Grieve with May. So I think they're going to go to the left-hander. Let's see. No, you know what? They're going to go to the right-hander. They want to save the left-hander if they possibly can. So Mike get a Garman is coming on for the Dodgers to pitch here in the bottom of the 8th, down 3-1. He's one of those guys you bring in when you're down, not when you're ahead. So now the Rangers will counter by pinch hitting for Grieve with lefty swinging Dave May, plus Dave May's a better defender as well. So it serves 2 purposes. So Dave May will come on and pinch hit and stay in the game to play left field. He's a 3, whereas Grieve is a 4, so a little bit better range. Plus he's got a very good column 3, if he can find that against Mr. Garman. So let's see if he can do that against Mr. Garman. And he sure did, 3-8. And that's a walk. He just missed a home run chance. Boy, just barely missed it. But it's a leadoff walk to May, and he will be held. Won't try to go anywhere, but he will be held. Now, Beniquez is an A bunter if they want to bunt him, but then you got the pitcher spot next, unless you want to go to the bullpen. So, what do they do with this? We're going to bunt Beniquez and pinch hit for Blyleven, I think. So, Beniquez becomes a B bunter. And that's a 10. That could be interesting. A B bunter and a 10. A B and a 10 is a pop-up. So he pops it up. It's a 5, which means it went to the first baseman. So it is a pop-up to Garvey. Runner is not doubled off. He will get back. And now with 1 out. Now, if you want, I guess they can let Blyleven hit. I don't know. Or let him bunt, I should say. And try to get the runner to second with 2 outs for Campaneris. Or he could pinch hit, but I think, boy, it's a conundrum. Let's see who they got on the bench that they want to bring in. They don't have much left from the left-hand side, but they do have big Willie Horton. So they're going to pinch hit for Blyleven with Willie Horton. So Willie Horton pinch hitting, and then Adrian Devine, their closer, will be coming in the 9th. So Willie Horton to pinch hit. No DH in this series as it was in 77. So Willie Horton's only chance pretty much is to pinch hit, because he's a 5E18 if you try to play him in the field. All right, so Horton is up against Garman. May will be held, but he's not going to go anywhere at first base. 1 chance for a wild pitch, but Garman has no wild pitch, so we go straight to Horton. That's a 3-9 for Horton. He struck him out, so he definitely failed in the pinch. I may as well have left Blyleven if he's going to do that, but you've got to give him a chance. So he's out of there. 2 down for Bert Campaneris. Nothing on the 20. Here's Bert Campaneris. 5-7 against Garmin. He flies to center. So Mike Garmin, a quality 8th inning, keeps the score at 3-1. And now Blyleven going 8 innings, and he will end up facing 29 batters. And the new pitcher will be the closer, Adrian Devine. So Adrian Devine, the closer, will be on for Texas. And he's going to face the heart of the order, Reggie Smith, Ron Cey, and Steve Garvey. So if you're the Dodgers, that you got exactly who you want up there. It's that part of the order. See if he can get it done. They trail 3-1. Hello, Brandon, and hello, John West, and Terry Harris, and Terry P. Larry Harris, I'm sorry, and Terry P. I don't know who Terry Harris is. Maybe Larry has somebody, a relative named Terry. I don't know. But thank you all for joining as well. We are in the top of the 9th, 3-1 in favor of Texas. They got 2 in the first, and they've made it stand up behind Burt Blyleven. But now they turn it over to Adrian Devine to try to close the deal. But they got to face Smith, Cey, and Garvey. And if anybody gets on, Dusty Baker. So the heart of the order coming up here in the top of the 9th here in Texas. Smith, 1-6. 1-9's a single. Anything else, he lines it to bump Wills. That is a base hit. So a leadoff single for Reggie Smith. That will bring the tying run to the plate. Reggie Smith will be held, but will not go anywhere. Here's Ron Cey. Nothing on the 20. Ron Cey. 6-4. That's a ground ball shortstop X. Now, he's being held, but with a right-handed batter, the shortstop is not responsible for covering. It's the second baseman. So Campaneris will not lose any range. He remains a 2E25. 2E25, I believe. Let me double check it and make sure that's right. 2E25. I'm pretty sure that's correct. No, I'm sorry, 2E29. 2E29. 2 and a 19, that's a possible double play. E29 can be trouble, though. That's an 11. Let's see if there's an error on that. E29 and an 11 for shortstop. And what do you know? E29, the only number in the E1 is an 11. How do you figure that? E29, the error is an 11, and that's an 11, my friends. So it's a one-base error by Campaneris. And now Billy Hunter, the Ranger manager, just shakes his head and doesn't know what to do. He says, I did what I was supposed to do, but my guys are letting me down. So first and second now, with only one out, and here is Steve Garvey. Actually, there's no outs. I'm sorry, there's no outs. And Garvey is an A bunter, but he's an awful good hitter. You hate to bunt with a guy who hit 33 home runs and is your cleanup hitter. You don't bunt with your cleanup hitter, so I'm not going to have him bunt. I'm just not going to do that. If it's no double play, it's no double play, but I'm going for the power. 5-9, and he got it. He got the power right here. In home run chance, 1-6. 7-20 is a double either way. Could tie the game. And that's why you don't bunt. A 3-run homer for Steve Garvey, and second guessers are out there all over the place wondering why the hell did you take out Burt Blyleven. But you got a closer for a reason, but he didn't close. He's an opener. So he's opened up the floodgates. Adrian Devine, he had problems a little bit in Baltimore, facing Baltimore, but he did kind of squared him away towards the end of the series. But Steve Garvey did him in. Game's not over yet, though. It's only 4-3 Dodgers, so the Rangers do have a chance in the 9th. Charlie Huff is loosening in the bullpen. Will be coming in. Dusty Baker, 5-10. And that's a ballpark single check, which is 1-10. And that's a 1, so it's a base hit. So that's Devine. Devine's going to come out of there. He is now fatigued, and he's going to be coming out. And they're going to go to their bullpen again for a lefty, because we got Rick Mundy coming up, a lefty. So the left-hander out of the bullpen is going to be Paul Lindblad. So Paul Lindblad will be coming on, and Devine was anything but Devine. He didn't get anybody out. Granted, there was an error, so that wasn't his fault, but 3 runs so far, and 2 of them are earned, for sure, including the home run. So he faced 4 batters, didn't get anybody out. So now Lindblad is on to face Rick Monday. And Rick Monday is a B bunter. You could bunt with him, I suppose, against a lefty, but he's got a good column 1, so we're going to let him swing away. We let Garby swing away and saw what happened. But this is lefty on lefty. 4-11's a fly ball left field X. That is the new left fielder, Dave May, who's a 3, E11, whereas Grieve was a 4. 3 and a 19, he'll get to that. We're checking the E11. E11 and a 10 should be okay. Let's make sure. E11, nope, no 10. So it's a good play. Fly to left, 1 away. Rick Monday's retired. Here's Jerry Grody. Remember, he came in on the doubles on the when Davalillo pinch hit for Yeager. So this is Grody's first chance to hit. Again, Baker is being held. 1-7, and that's a single 2 stars for Jerry Grody. How about that? Puts runners at the corners, and now we need a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Mike Garman. Mike Garman is coming out, and we need a pinch hitter for Garman. They've already used Mota. They've already used Davalillo. Let's see who they got on the bench that's right-handed. Well, they have Glenn Burke, and they have Lee Lacy. So you got your choice. Who do they want to use? Let's see who's got the better average. Lee Lacy actually has the better average, so we're going to use Lee Lacy as a pinch hitter. Lee Lacy will pinch hit with runners at the corners and 1 out. And Texas is going to have to play the infield in. They can't afford not getting a double play on this, so they're going to have to play the infield in. Now the runner at first, Grody, of course, not being held. It's a very slow runner. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch, which is a 4 on Lindblad. No wild pitch. Here's Lacy. 6-11. Fly ball right field B. That's a sacrifice fly. So Lee Lacy lifts 1 out to right field. Claudel Washington has it, but before he can get it in, Dusty Baker has scored. And that's another key run there. And that closes the book on Devine. He ends up giving up 4 runs, and 2 of those are earned, I do believe. Or is it 1? I'm sorry, 1 is 3 are earned. So the score now is 5-3 Dodgers. So Lee Lacy does the job. Gives the Dodgers an insurance run. We flip the order over to Davey Lopes as Lindblad tries to get out of this. Runner at first and 2 outs. 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. He has no balk rating, but a pass ball rating for Sundberg is a 1. And there's no pass ball. So here's Lopes. 5-10, that's a ground ball shortstop X. And Campaneris is a 2, E29, I do believe. He's already made 1 error this inning, so he's trying to avoid that. 2 and a 3. I'm not sure if he can get to that. We'll see. 2 and a 3. Does he get to it? 2 and a 3. He does get to it. He's got to avoid the error, though, especially that 11. Ooh, that's a 12. He just missed it. If that had been 11, it would have been another error, but that's a 12. He'll make that play. So Lopes is out of there to end the inning, but a big 4-run ninth for the Dodgers. And like I said, second guessers out there are going to wonder, why the hell did you take out Bert Blyleven when he's got a 3-1 lead in the ninth? But you got a closer for a reason. Now, whether it worked out or not, you can always second guess, as they say. But that's just the way it went. And also had a factor to do with the pinch hit, with the NL rules. If we'd had the DH, I probably would have left him in there. All right, so we go to the bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Dodgers, and it will be Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer, in for the Dodgers to try to close things out. As Garman went 1 inning and gave up a walk, got a strikeout, nothing else. So it'll be Bump Wills, Hargrove, and Hara, the 3 up for Texas as they're down by 2. Thought they had game 1 in the bag, but that may not be the case. We'll see. But you never know. I mean, Huff could blow it too. So here we go, Bump Wills. 6-9. Wills, the switch hitter, batting left. 6-9. That's a 1-6 home run chance. He does have normal power. So 1-6, and Bump Wills will lead off with a home run. 7-20, he flies out. It's 10. It's a 10, so he comes up just short as Reggie Smith hauls it in at the track. 1 away for Mike Hargrove. 6-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That is Dusty Baker. And we'll check Dusty Baker's defense. Dusty Baker is a 3-E3. 3-2, though, that's going to drop in. E3 probably won't be an error. That's a 6. Probably not an error. We'll see. E3 and a 6 is not an error, but a 3 and a 2 is a double. So that's going to drop in for a double for Mike Hargrove. And now the tying run is at the plate in Toby Harrah, who homered his last time up, but that was off of Mr. Rao. So let's see if he can do it off of Charlie Huff. 1 chance for a wild pitch, and Charlie Huff has a 13 wild pitch rating. That's an 11, so it's a wild pitch. It gets past Grody, and that'll move Hargrove to third. Infield will play back because they got a 2-run lead, so that run is irrelevant to them. So they will play back. Nothing on the 20 this time. Here's Harrah. 4-5. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Campaneris again, a 2E29. 2 and a 17. He'll get to that. E29. E29 and the 8 should be all right. Yeah, 11 was the problem, I do believe. Not an 8. 29, yep, no 8. But it's a ground ball to short, and with the infield back, that will score the run. But now there's 2 outs and the bases are clear. The run does score. RBI ground out for Harrah. Cuts the lead to 5-4, but now they're at their last leg, and it's Claudell Washington, last chance for the Rangers. 2 outs, bases clear against Charlie Huff. 3-8. And that's a you believe this? A 1-8 home run. 9-20 is a double. If it's a 1-8, we go into extra innings most likely. It's a 20. It's only a double. But now the tying run is in scoring position, and the winning run is at the plate, and Jim Sundberg and Charlie Huff having his issues as Tommy Lasorda almost choked on his linguine. But he has no one else to go to in the bullpen. Charlie Huff is his man. So it's Charlie Huff or bust, I do believe, although Lance Ronson, the lefty, is loosening. Huff, nothing on the 20. So it's up to Sundberg to get it done. 2-7, that's a walk, so that will extend the inning. And that puts the tying run is already in scoring position. Now the winning run is at the plate. So now Dave May coming up, the lefty. They could go to Lance Ronson here. It's the only lefty the Dodgers have in the pen, because Charlie Huff is now struggling. So they're going to make the move to Lance Ronson, the left-hander, because of the left-hander Dave May coming up. Now Texas may counter with a pinch hitter. We shall see. See who they got left on the bench, first of all. So let's look at the bench players available for Texas. They've already used Horton, and they've already used Washington and May. But they do have Ellis, Alomar, and Bavacqua from the right-hand side for left fielder Dave May. So I think Kurt Bavacqua is going to get the call. Already used Willie Horton. So looks like Kurt Bavacqua. And Bavacqua on the season in 77 hit .333 in 96 at-bats. So Kurt Bavacqua will pinch hit for Dave May as the wheels are turning in both dugouts. So Billy Hunter is countering Tommy Lasorda's Lance Ronson move. So, oops, wrong way. Ronson, the number, or the 5th Dodger pitcher. Runners at first and second with 2 outs, and it's up to Kurt Bavacqua to get it done. He does have a pretty good column 1 with 3 home runs listed there, so you never know. Ronson, nothing happening there. If this is a 1 on the white die, Dodgers may be in trouble. Nope, it's a 6. 6-6, but it's a single 2 stars, and that will tie the game. Pinch hit single for Kurt Bavacqua has tied the game, and it moves Sundberg to third. So a base hit can win the game for the Rangers. And now Lance Ronson doesn't know what to do, and the Dodgers don't know what to do. They've already used, in the bullpen, the Dodgers now have used Ronson, Garman, Sosa, and Huff. The only guy left in the bullpen is Bert Hooton. So do you bring in Bert Hooton? That's another good question. I don't think Bert Hooton is good with people on base, so they're going to have to stick with Ronson. Runner at first and third, and Bavacqua's not going to dare move off first base because his run doesn't mean anything. It's up to Sundberg. It's up to Sundberg. It's up to Ronson to keep it from to allow it to go extra innings. 2 is a chance for a balk. He has a 0 balk rating, but we do have to check for a possible pass ball. There is no, it's a balk chance, and he's got a 0 balk. So here's Benitez, and he's got a pretty good column 1 himself. And he found it, 1-9, but he lines out to second baseman Davey Lopes, and we have extra innings after all that fiasco. There's our line score after 9 innings. It is 5-5, and I've got to regroup here for a second and get everything in line and make sure I'm using the right guys, and I don't make sure I have my lineup straight and everything else. Who's going to play right field and all this good stuff. Now, Bavacqua can stand again and play right field because he does have a rating for right field. It's not very good. It's 4E16. Or they could go to someone else to play right field, but then your bench is getting smaller and smaller when you do that. So they're going to stick with Bavacqua in right field. So Bavacqua is your right fielder. I'm running out of room. My score sheet is getting kind of messy here. So Bavacqua is going to be the right fielder. And let's see here. Lindblad was the last pitcher, so they may go to another pitcher. Let's see how they want to play this. I've got to get my logistics straight. Benitez made the last out, which means the pitcher spot is going to be coming up next. So let's see how they want to play that. How do they have left in the bullpen? For the Rangers in the bullpen, let's check their bullpen. They've used Lindblad and they've used Devine. We're not going to use Doc Ellis. He's one of the starters. So they could go with Lynn Barker, Knowles, or Moret, but Barker and Moret are both long relievers. Knowles is more of a short reliever. But if they use him, they're going to have to. He's going to have to lead off the next inning unless I do a double switch of some kind. And I'm not really apt to do that because I don't want to mess up their lineup. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring in Daryl Knowles and let him pitch here in the top of the 10th, and everything is all over the place. I got cards all over the place, so I got to make sure I get my right guys in here. I don't want a snafu of having the wrong pitcher in there or somebody pitching twice or any of that mess. So let me find Daryl Knowles. He's in here somewhere. He's hiding. He don't want to appear. He's scared to come out, I think. I don't know. All right, here's Daryl Knowles, the lefty. And he's going to be facing Russell, Smith, and Say, the heart of the order for the Dodgers. And who would have thunk it? The first game goes extra innings. They only score a total of 4 runs in the first 8 innings, and in the 9th inning they score 6. That's dice, and that's Stratomatic for you. All right, so we're reset button. We're starting the 10th, and it's going to be Russell to lead it off here against Daryl Knowles. Tied at 5 here in the 10th. 6-3 against their right-hander. That's a ballpark single check, which is a 1-10. That's an 18, so he lines it to short, 1 away. Going to bring up Reggie Smith. He got the rally started in the 9th last time. 3-10 against a left-hander. That's a fly ball to right, and that's 2 down. That'll bring up Ron Say. It was really Steve Garvey's homer that really turned the tide, but it didn't last for long. Don't know why I rolled a D20. Nobody's on base. That was kind of stupid. Here's Say, 1-3, and that's a ballpark home run chance. But again, it's only 1-7 for right-handers here at Arlington, so not necessarily a done deal. But it's a 7 right on the number, and I'm not doing robbing the home run, so this is going to be a home run for Ron Say. And the Dodgers now take a 6-5 lead over the Rangers. Here's Garvey. 2-8 for Garvey. 1-7 is a single. Anything else, he lines it right to Toby Harrah. And Harrah will snag it to end the inning, but the damage was done. The home run from Ron Say. So the heart of the order, Garvey and homer in the 9th, and Say homer in the 10th, has given the Dodgers a 6-5 lead as we go to the bottom of the 10th. And now, let's see, Rotson, do we want to leave Rotson in there? Good question. He's only faced 2 batters, so probably will leave him in there. Let's see who they got left in the bullpen. Well, Bert Hooton's the only one left, so you pretty much Rotson or bust. So let's look at the pinch hitting possibilities for the Rangers. They do have Sandy Alomar. They do have John Ellis. So John Ellis, who's got a great column 1 against lefties, will be the pinch hitter. John Ellis against Lance Rotson. I got to find Lance Rotson's card because I put him away thinking the game was over. That's what I get for thinking. All right. What did I do with Lance Rotson's card? I got cards all over the place. It's a mess. Here he is. All right. So Lance Rotson's back out. Remember, he only faced 2 batters, gave up 1 hit, so he's not tired. But John Ellis will pinch hit for Darryl Knowles to start the bottom of the 10th. It'll be Ellis, Campaneris, and Wills. 6-5 your score. And here we go. John Ellis, the pinch hitter. Look at this column 1. He's got a bunch of home runs here at 2, 3, 4, and 5 against the lefty Ronson. 1-4, and it's gone. A pinch hit home run for John Ellis. Are you kidding me? A pinch hit home run for John Ellis, and we are tied again at 6. And that'll bring up Dusty Baker. I'm sorry, Bert Campaneris. My bad. 2-6. He's going to ground to third. Harrah's got it. 1 away. So if we go to the 11th, it's going to be Bert Hooton, and he's going to pitch the rest of the game regardless, I think. Here's Bump Wills, 1-5, but they got to get there first. 1-5 is a fly to right. That's 2 down. And that'll bring up Hargrove. 5-8 for Hargrove against a lefty. That's a double off of Lance Rotson's card. Hargrove doubles, and they will intentionally walk Toby Harrah. They're not even going to mess around with that, and they'll pitch to Claudell Washington instead. A lefty on lefty matchup. Hargrove at second base. He will not be held. Rotson, nothing on the 20. He's got to get this out to extend the game and send us to the 11th. 3-5 for Claudell. That's a single, but it's a clutch. And he fails in the clutch because there's 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. So that single that would have won the game has turned into a clutch out. It is a pop out to second. And we're going to the 11th. So Claudell Washington fails in the clutch. And we're going to the 11th, and we're going to get a new pitcher for the Rangers because Ellis pinch hit for him. So we're going back to the Ranger bullpen, and they're going to go to Len Barker. So Len Barker, the right-hander, will be coming on. And for the Dodgers, it's going to be Bert Hooton the rest of the way. So Len Barker, the 5th pitcher used by the Rangers, and Hooton's going to be the 6th pitcher used by the Dodgers. All right, so Dusty Baker will lead it off. Baker, Mundy, and Grody are scheduled. I got to catch my breath now. We're in the 11th rather. I'm sorry. Tied at 6 after 2 solo home runs in the 10th, 1 by each team. 6-6. We start the 11th. Dusty Baker facing Len Barker. Look at the 3-4 for Dusty. That's a ground ball to short, handled by Campaneris. 1 away. I'll bring up Rick Monday. 5-8 for Mundy is a ground ball second base X. That's going to be Bump Wills, and Bump Wills is a 3 E17. 3 and a 7, he'll get to that. E17. E17 and a 7. E17 and a 7 should be okay. Ooh, a 6 is an error, but not a 7. So good play. 2 up, 2 down. And now that'll bring up Grody. 4-2 against Barker is a ground ball to short. Campaneris has got it. Innings over. So we go to the bottom of the 11th, and we'll get a double switch as we will have Johnny Oates come in and catch and bat 9th. Johnny Oates will catch and bat 9th. And Bert Hooton will come in to pitch and hit in the 8th spot, formerly held by Mr. Grody. So Johnny Oates will be the leadoff hitter if it goes to the 12th. And Grody is out of there. All right, so we will bring on Bert Hooton. He is their last line of defense for the Dodgers. Unless they wanted to go to Rick Rhoden or somebody that has actually none of the other pitchers have relief ratings. So it's Bert Hooton or bust, and of course he's mostly a starter, so he can go fairly long amount of innings. So we'll see how it plays out. Johnny Oates is not batting. That's if they make it. Wrong team. Sundberg is up there, the other catcher. All right, so Sundberg is up. It'll be Sundberg, Bavacqua. Remember, Bavacqua pinch hit for Dave May. So it's three right-handers, Sundberg, Bavacqua, and Beniquez here in the bottom of the 11th, tied at 6. Sundberg, 210, and that's a leadoff walk. Boy, that's last thing we want to do is start walking guys, and Bert Hooton has had trouble with walks in the NLCS and with umpires, so he's got to be careful. Now, Bavacqua, you would normally think he'd bunt, but he's only a D bunter, so they're going to have him swing away. 5-9, ground ball shortstop A, and he hits it to a double play. Boy, the inability to bunt really comes back to bite him right there. 2 quick outs. Here's Juan Beniquez. Looks like we're going to the 12th. 3-9 for Beniquez, and he grounds to short as well. Russell puts it away, and we're going to the 12th. Still tied at 6 here in game 1. And for the Rangers, Len Barker back out for his second inning of work. Barker was also a starter. He's got a 3 for reliever, so he's their long man. And it will be the aforementioned Johnny Oates pinch hitting. Or not pinch hitting, he's going to bat leading off because he came in to catch in the double switch. So he will lead off. And it'll be Oates, Lopes, and Russell to face Len Barker. Here in the 12th. 2-8 for Johnny Oates. And he grounds to first. Put away by Hargrove. Oops, wrong side. Should be up here. You can tell I'm getting tired. All right. So 1 away. That brings up Davey Lopes. 2-8. 2-8 for Lopes. Struck him out. 2 down. I'm about to run out of score sheet. Well, the score sheet only goes 12 innings. Here's Russell. 110 for Russell. That's a 1-5 triple. 6-20 is a single. That is a single. Oh, he missed a triple by 1. But it's a 1-out or 2-out single rather by Bill Russell. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. And here's Reggie Smith. Nothing on the 20. Reggie. 2-5 for Reggie. That's a 1-11 home run. 10-20 or 18. I'm sorry, 1-17 is a home run, and 18-20 is a double. I almost misread that. But the 2-5 says a 1-17 is a 2-run bomb. It's a 19, so it's a double. He does not get the home run, but let's see if the runner can score. The double is assumed to go to center, which is Juan Beniquez territory. And Juan Beniquez does have a -3 arm, so that could affect things. Russell was being held, which means he drops from a 17 to a 16. There are 2 outs, which makes it an 18. But then you got the -3 makes it a 15 on the arm. But they got to send him with 2 outs. You just have to send him. So 1-15, he will score. And he does. So Bill Russell slides in safely. How about that? Reggie Smith with the RBI double, and the Dodgers lead it 7-6. And Lasorda about ready to have a coronary. He can't take it much longer. Here's Ron Say. 1 is a potential wild pitch, and it will be an automatic wild pitch because that's a 20. So it's an automatic wild pitch to move the runner to third. So Reggie Smith is now at third. And here's Say again. Nothing on that. That's a 6-8, and he struck him out to end the inning. But the Dodgers pick up another run here in the 12th. And the question is, can Bert Hooton hold it? We go to the bottom of the 12th. Dodgers trying to finally put this one away. And they're going to be facing... Let's see how they're going to play this. Who is up next? Beniquez made the last out, so we got the pitcher spot. Barker is pinch hitter for Barker. And I got to see who they got left. That's the other thing. Who is left on the bench? Well, they got Bill Fahey and Keith Smith. Those are the 2 guys they have left. So it's going to be Bill Fahey. Bill Fahey is going to pinch hit. And then it'll be after Fahey, it will be Campaneris and Wills. So Fahey to lead it off here against Bert Hooton. So Bert Hooton could get the win. How about that? Who would have thunk that? 4-11 against the lefty. 1 to 7 is a single. Anything else is a liner to second. And Lopes snags. That's a 9. So Lopes snags it for the out. 1 away. So Fahey fails in the pinch. Back to the top of the order for Campaneris. You want to keep him off base because if he gets on, he's running. 4-8. Fly ball to center. That's 2 down. Dodgers 1 out away from taking game 1 in dramatic fashion. Here's Bump Wills. 1-10. Ground ball to Garvey. Steps on the bag, and the ball game is over. The Dodgers looking to drop game 1 down 3-1 going to the 9th. Get 4 in the 9th, but couldn't hold it. They get a run the 10th, but couldn't hold it. They get a run the 12th, and they do hold it for a 7-6 victory. And I'm too tired to worry about the stats for hits and everything else. Maybe I'll do a recap at the start of game 2. But I'm kind of tired out now. That one kind of wore me out. As this game has gone on for almost an hour and 20 minutes now. Well, I did a little preamble in the beginning, so the game probably went on for about an hour and 10 minutes. So, and that's after working. So I need to unwind after all that. That's an exciting performance for both teams, really, but the big hit there was Reggie Smith's double. That clinched it. But home runs from Garvey in the 9th and Say in the 10th also really took care of things. So now we move on to game 2. Game 2, the Rangers will be down 1. They don't want to lose the first 2 at home, a la what the Dodgers did against the Phillies. This is the lineup for game 2. We're going to have Gaylord Perry against Rick Rhoden. And with Rick Rhoden starting, of course, Claudell Washington. Now, see, I've got to take Henderson out because I've got him pre-filled in for this. But remember, he got injured because I wasn't really counting on injuries. So Claudell Washington will actually be in right field. And actually, I'm going to have to redo the whole lineup because I may move Claudell up. I'm not sure. Or the way Vivak was hitting, I might put him up there. You never know. I'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that game 1. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.